Hello learners and welcome to another week at CPDLF. This week we're going to be completing units 3.3 and 3.4. Okay, so unit 3.3 is quiz 1, the federal government, and unit 3.4 is the revolution of 1800. Okay, so with your quiz, you're just going to go through, you're going to review the first two lessons, 3.1 and 3.2. So the federal government and the first political parties, look back at your notes, and then you can take your quiz. And then you can move on to the Revolution of 1800. The Revolution of 1800 was a time period where people didn't necessarily agree with each other, didn't know what was best for the United States. This is where Marlborough versus Madison comes in. A very interesting court case, talks about Jefferson. Then you're going to learn about the Louisiana Purchase of 1803 and Lewis and Clark and their expedition in here with Sacagawea is in here. Some people often mix up Pocahontas with Sacagawea, so don't mix those two up, but it's going to talk about that with Lewis and Clark and how they were sent on this amazing expedition to see if they could find this Northwest Passage, which they weren't sure. A water route across the North American continents. Okay, so I'm going to show you a short video here, and then we'll wrap everything up, and you guys will have your reflection questions. Okay, so here we go. Let's hope this plays.
At the turn of the 19th century, most of the territory west of the Appalachian Mountains was a mystery to non-Native Americans. So when President Thomas Jefferson completed the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, wasn't entirely sure what he bought. He knew the huge tract of land swept west from the Mississippi to the Rocky Mountains, nearly doubling the size of the U.S. But no reliable maps of the full area existed, and Jefferson wanted to know if there was a Northwest Passage, a water route across the North American continent, that could open a new world of trade. Jefferson knew just the man to explore the region. Why make a crossover, or even a dash as cut and straight to non-Native Americans?
Okay, so we're going to try this again.
So when President Thomas Jefferson completed the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, wasn't entirely sure what he bought. He knew the huge tract of land swept west from the Mississippi to the Rocky Mountains, nearly doubling the size of the U.S. But no reliable maps of the full area existed, and Jefferson wanted to know if there was a Northwest Passage, a water route across the North American continent, that could open a new world of trade. Jefferson knew just the man to explore the region. Meriwether Lewis, with fellow explorer William Clark and 31 others, Lewis set off on May 14, 1804. The group was called the Corps of Discovery. The expedition first traveled up the Missouri River into the Great Plains. That's where a young Native American woman, Sacagawea, joined their team as translator and ambassador. After a tough trek, the Corps reached the Rocky Mountains in the spring of 1805, ending their hope of finding a Northwest Passage. But they pushed on, and in November 1805, finally reached the Pacific Ocean. Lewis and Clark returned to Missouri 2.5 years after they left. They traveled nearly 8,000 miles, collecting more than 300 species of plants and animals. They also recorded the first detailed maps of the vast new region. Though they did not discover a Northwest Passage, their incredible journey paved the way for westward expansion.
Okay, so sorry about the little glitch there. It went to commercial and then started over again, but just a little inconvenience there. So you can watch that little part, or did watch that little part twice there. So hopefully you learned a little bit about Lewis and Clark. So again, you're going to be completing units 3.3 and 3.4, and please go back and submit any lower scoring assignments. Don't be afraid to work ahead. I know with the holidays coming up, some people want to get a little bit ahead just in case they have to do something, or unfortunately I know some sicknesses have been going around, so not a bad thing to work ahead if you have a little bit of extra time. Okay, so reach out to me if you need anything, and if not, have a wonderful week. Thanks. Bye.